Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be going over how I did my fish that I was working on in my introduction video. I'll put a link to that in the description or up top so you guys can click on that and check out what my channel is about if you are new. Anyways, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, basically what I like to do, I like to start with the basic shapes of any of the images, and then I basically add another layer and I refine it a little bit more, and I'll do that a couple times. And here I'll do it about 2 times, and then I do that final sketch on top, and then I add a little bit of, I change the color of it based on like if it's going to be color grayscale, and today it's going to be color, so I make the lines darker black, and then I liquefy a little bit more, and then I start blotching in the lights and the darks, as you can see here. And I like to do that because it gives me kind of a rough image of how it's going to look like in the end, and I can always change it a little bit if it's not correct. And this allows me to put the highlights and the darks in the right places, and then afterwards I'll start to blend it in. That's what I'm doing here. I blend in the lights and the darks to get a little bit more refined image of what it's going to look like in the end. And that's basically what I do with most of my things. And then I'm constantly changing. I'm editing the picture, the fish a little bit, as you can see what I did with the fins. And then I start with the detail. And I basically use the lights and the darks to basically carve in small details, as you can see, as I did here, because I don't really want to work so much and get stuck on the details, and that's what I really like about Grayscale. I'm going to add a background, and you'll see here in a second, because I actually forgot, and I want to actually add a background because when I start to go to a different color, when I start to do color, it's going to completely it might completely change what the image looks like when color. So that's what I kind of did, and the reference image was also had like a black background, so that's what I was kind of go for, and that's what I did. Here I'm working on the fins. I don't know if you can see it. I add a little bit of texture, and then I start to blot in the eyes and the mouth and stuff, and continue to work on the fins. I would struggle a little bit on the fins because I wasn't really I didn't know how to work it, but eventually down the road you see I actually get it down. So I'm just using one of the brushes from the paintable collection and the DPA. I'm using one of theirs for that texture of the fin here. And as you can see on the back one, I'm working a little bit more, trying to get that to get as close as I can to the image, but I'm struggling a little bit, but I eventually do get it down. So yeah. This is just my way of how I do it. Now here I use a different layer and I put on multiply so I can get the lights and the darks. So I get the darks first. I like to apply the darks first, and then the lights on top of that with a color dodge layer, as you can see I'm doing here. And just so I can kind of get that, just to refine it a bit more. And you see now I start to understand, like maybe I should, on the fins, instead of trying to make little lines, I should make them more bulky, and then just kind of refine the bulk just a little bit more. As you can see, I'm doing on the back fins here. Now I go over on top of the sketch layer with a mask, and I basically kind of erase all the lines, and then I go over with another multiply layer, and I start to darken the darker places, so then it looks, so you can see that separation from the lights and the shadows, and you can see where the fins are in the background a little bit more. And then I start to carve in the little fins, kind of like the little textures on the fins. I just use kind of an eraser or just whatever, a small eraser, turn down opacity, and that's kind of what I did to kind of refine everything a little bit more. I add a little bit of highlights, a little bit darks, just to kind of refine it just a bit more at the end. And basically that's how I made the fish, and here is the finished product right here. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like it. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, please, if I've earned your subscription. And I will see you guys in the very next video.